Hey guys, it's Fred. Thanks for joining me. I have another video for you. This one may be debatable for some people, I guess. But see, in law enforcement and law and order and the justice system, you got that set of scales, and you can't tip them scales one way or the other. It's got to be right down the line, level, even. We'll start watching the video, and then I'm sure I'll comment.
Agents from departments in West Tennessee facing charges following the arrest of murder suspect Jackson Hopper. The indictments, Joe, announced as part of a state investigation into the October 2024 arrest.
We've been covering this since the day it happened. Hopper's accused of gunning down his ex-girlfriend, 22-year-old medical student Ellie Young, after a breast cancer awareness walk out at Shelby Farms Park. But sheriff's departments across this area are now not happy with these new charges. Griffin DeMarais has the story.
It all went down October of last year, and all these charges stem from this video right here. Hopper led police on a wild multi-county chase. When he was finally caught, police dove in and intervened, but a grand jury says they went too far. These are the...
Guys, that's called an old-fashioned beatdown. That's what that's called. That reminds me of that joke of Ron White where he says there was 10 of them there. He didn't know how many they was going to use to arrest them. He didn't know how many it was going to take to arrest them, but he knew how many they was going to use. And that's what you've got. I'm looking at probably 12, 15 guys right there on this one fella. Now, I know he's committed a bad crime. I know he's committed murder. If one of those guys or all of them was the girl's daughter that he killed, I could understand. If that was a family member, the anger built up, and I know that. That's what happens to people if it's our family or somebody we know or something. This guy's been arrested. He's got to answer for his crime, but we can't have a beatdown on the side of the road.
Says they went too far. These are the names and charges of the six, and the charges range anywhere from official misconduct to assault to tampering with evidence. But it is clear that a lot of the sheriff's departments do not agree. Tipton County Sheriff Shannon Beasley said, quote, "I'm in disbelief and saddened to hear the news. These men acted courageously and without hesitation or reservation, put themselves in harm's way in pursuit of justice."
We understand that, Sheriff. That's what police officers do. That's what we take the oath for, just like the military or anybody else. That's what we do, put ourselves in harm's way. It doesn't give us the opportunity to, when we put ourselves in harm's way, to say, hey, let's have a beat down here. This guy put us in harm's way. If we're that scared of being in harm's way, we need to find a different profession, because harm's way comes with this profession. It's there. It's always going to be there. That doesn't give us the choice to have a beat down whenever we want to, because we feel that because the person put us in harm's way. Now, a pursuit, whatever happened during this, if the guys are that afraid of being in a pursuit and being in harm's way, they need to be the last vehicle and just trail. They need to just show up later on. Don't get in the middle of a pursuit if you're that afraid of being in pursuit, that you know that when you get there at the end, you're going to beat the tar out of this fella because he put you in harm's way. No, you put yourself in harm's way by giving chase to a murder suspect. But your job is to pursue that murder suspect, catch him, handcuff him, and take him to jail. That's the job. I'm disappointed I'm disappointed in this sheriff. That would disappoint me as a sheriff, of having in front of his men, and his men thinking, well, the sheriff, he supports it, so he's not going to say nothing. I like to know how many officers on this department has complaints, has suits and all that against them. That's justified. Now listen, we know that police officers get sued. We know police officers get complaints. We know that unjustly. But with a sheriff like this and him saying that, it makes you wonder.
While pursuing a violent murder suspect, a suspect who shortly before fleeing law enforcement killed an innocent woman. Now, Jackson Hopper's attorney, Leslie Ballin, said over the phone,
"Watch those fists, guys. Watch those fists off to the left flying. The man's subdued. He's on the ground. I know he's a murderer. I'm not taking up for him. or what he did.
He thinks when you watch the video, you see everything you need to.
I've seen the video of the arrest. It's been on the internet and available for those to see, and I believe the video speaks for itself.
If you remember, Hopper showed up to court on his first day with a black eye and bruises all over his body.
He's a murderer, and he's going to go to jail for being a murderer. That's what we do here in the United States.
Back in October, Sheriff Box in Dyer County said Hopper was given multiple commands by officers to show his hands and that he was pulled from the vehicle with a loaded handgun and was resisting arrest. TBI says 6 law enforcement agents turned themselves in and were booked into Dyer County Jail. They've each been released on a $25,000 bond. In Memphis, Griffin Demaray, Action News 5.
Are they going for a gun there, guys? Are they trying to find a gun that's on him? Or where's the gun at?
Jackson Hopper is facing more charges than those filed in Shelby County, where he's currently in custody. Back in October, the Dyer County Sheriff's Office issued arrest warrants for charges, including attempted first-degree murder against a law enforcement officer stemming from the chase. Sheriff Jeff Box says Hopper tried to kill a Tipton County constable and a Dyer County deputy with his vehicle while he was trying to get away.
And that's fine. We know that. We know those things happen when people's in pursuit, when they run, and all they do is add more charges to themselves. It still doesn't give law enforcement the authority to have an old-fashioned beatdown with a bunch of their closest friends or partners. I'm sorry, just my belief. Everybody's to each his own. But as police officers, I think we're held to a higher standard. I think if we give a little bit today and we beat a little bit harder today or throw in a couple extra punches today, it'll be 10 or 15 more tomorrow and so forth. When the cuffs go on, the hands come off. Now, I wasn't there. I can't see over that ditch line. I can't see what's going on. But from what it appears, with that many officers on top, if they did nothing more than lay on top of him, especially that old big boy there, he's not going to be able to do nothing. He's going to be driven into the ground. But just my thoughts, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.